Welcome back. Today, we're going to begin our study of hieroglyphs by learning the Egyptian alphabet and how to write our names in hieroglyphs. But first, I have to give you the answer to the homework question. What does this ancient Egyptian sentence say? I've been teaching this course for 40 years, and I'm always surprised at how consistent the guesses are. Almost everyone thinks it's about birds and going somewhere, which is perfectly reasonable since we see birds, feet, and so on. But reasonable is not necessarily correct. The sentence has nothing to do with feet, walking, or birds. Everyone is making the same mistake that the scholars trying to decipher hieroglyphs were making, assuming that the hieroglyphs are 100% ideographic, that is, picture writing. That when you have a bird, the text is talking about birds. It's not. This is what I call the big mistake. In fact, this sentence translates to, "The sun is shining in the sky." Let me explain why. Hieroglyphs, for the most part, are phonetic and represent sounds. The first bird is a quail chick, and it represents the sound W. The foot has a sound B, a B, and the wavy line is an N. This circle at the end, though, is ideographic. It represents the sun and helps make clear the meaning of weben. It's the word for shine. So, two things to note about our first Egyptian word. First, it's mostly phonetic, with no vowels, and often we don't know which vowels were used. Second, an ideographic sign at the end provides a clue to the word's meaning. The second word in our sentence is made up of 3 hieroglyphs: a mouth sign, an arm, and our sun circle again, which has no sound, but helps make the meaning clear. So the sound is re, and it means sun. Next comes an owl. That's pronounced and it means in. Our last word has a rectangle, which is a p, and a semicircle, which is a t, so it's pronounced pet. The hieroglyph under it represents the sky. The Egyptians viewed the sky as a canopy held up by 4 pillars, and the word means sky. Note how the word for sky is formed. 2 small hieroglyphs together above a longer one. The ancient Egyptians were very concerned with aesthetics. They wanted their words and sentences to look good. If you strung out the 3 hieroglyphs on one line, it wouldn't look nearly as good. So our sentence means, the sun is shining in the sky. Nothing about birds, feet, or arms. We should also notice that the verb shine comes at the start of the sentence. Verbs come first in ancient Egyptian. I should point out that sometimes in Egyptian, just as in English, there is some ambiguity. The word weben, to shine, also means to rise. So your sentence could also be translated as, the sun is rising in the sky. In our sentence, hieroglyphs are actually used 2 ways. Phonetically, to represent sounds, but also as pictures to help us determine the meanings of phonetic words, like the sun and sky hieroglyphs. These signs are called determinatives because they help us determine the meaning of a word. There's one more way that hieroglyphs can be used, and that's as ideograms. Ideograms are hieroglyphs used pictorially, but not at the end of a word. Rather, ideograms stand alone. To help you recognize that they're standing alone, they are often flagged in the ancient Egyptian language with a stroke. So we could do some speed writing, and for sun, we could write this, the sun with a stroke. So to summarize, Hieroglyphs can be used in three ways. First, phonetically, representing a sound. Second, as a determinative, coming at the end of a word to clarify its meaning. And third, as an ideogram, where the picture represents a concept all by itself.